What's up? It's Ben from WODprep, and I am here to help you get your best score on CrossFit Open Workout 24.1. This is WODprep's official 24.1 strategy video presented by Box Basics. If you want to get some fresh kicks to make sure that you look fine for the rest of the Open, you can see my brand new Nano X4s here that I absolutely love. Box Basics is offering 20% off if you use the code WODprep at shopboxbasics.com. 20% off for the next week as I'm making this video. So until March 7th at midnight, you can get 20% off, and they have all of your needs to get fresh kick. Now, before we dig into this strategy guide, I have to say something very important. WODprep is not associated with CrossFit or CrossFit Inc. in any way, shape, or form. These are all my opinions. I'm simply reporting to you with my own opinions. I'm not endorsed by CrossFit in any way, shape, or form, so don't get it twisted. Now, in this video, I'm gonna cover strategy to help you get your best score. So we're gonna talk about pacing, we're gonna talk about the dumbbell snatches, we're going to talk about the burpees, and that's the most important part of this workout. But before anything, make sure you go to games.crossfit.com to see the full movement standards for your division. There's a couple intricacies that I'm going to talk about in this video, specifically about the rules for the burpee, which have changed every year, and rules for the dumbbell snatches, because it's not an alternating dumbbell snatch this year. But go to games.crossfit.com, and you'll find there that you will see this workout. So this is the workout. We're doing 21, 21, 21, 21, 15, 15, 15, 15, 9, 9, 9, 9. And this workout is going to trap a lot of people. So the first thing that we're going to talk about in this video is pacing. And before we dig into the strategy, if you want the complete WODprep strategy guide, which includes this video, but lots of other bonus content, including mindset tips and other bonus material as the weekend goes on, as we figure out the intricacies of what times you should get and how to best attack this workout, that's all available on my email list. You go to wodprep.com/open, enter your name and email. It's completely free, and I'll send you the complete strategy guide with a bunch of bonus content to go along with this video. So go sign up for that. Again, wodprep.com/open. It's completely free, and it's loaded with value and extra bonus material for scaled, masters, mindset tips, and more. So when it comes to the pace of this workout, there's one mantra that I need you to remember. It's a Navy SEAL mantra that everyone's heard. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. In this workout, thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of athletes are going to be trapped into the trap of going way too fast on the round of 21. Many people are going to start this workout moving as fast as they can. They're going to do their snatches really fast because they don't have to switch hands. They're going to do their burpees with this. They're going to jump down, jump back up, jump down, jump back up. They're going to go really, really fast. And then they're going to be punched in the mouth because that's way too fast for most people in this workout. So what I want you to remember when it comes to pacing is that the round of 21, I want you to think, I'm going a little bit too slow. And what I mean by that is I want you to throttle your burpee pace just a little bit. You can't really make up too much time on the snatches, and we'll talk about that in a second, but on the burpees specifically, I want you to go a little bit slower than you think you want to. And that's because I need to save some energy for the second part of this workout. The second half of the workout starts 6 reps into the first set of 15 dumbbell snatches. That's the halfway point of this workout. At that point, once you get into that round of 15, that's when you can start to pick up the pace if you're feeling good. But for a large majority of athletes, they're going to come out way too fast in the beginning, and then by the second half of 15 into the 9s, they're going to be moving really slow. I actually want you, ideally, to either keep the same pace throughout the workout, or maybe even better, my strategy is to go a little slow in the beginning and then pick up the pace as the workout goes on. It's easier said than done, but if you can do that, I promise you will get a better score than coming out of the gate really, really fast. Next, let's talk about the snatches. So the dumbbell snatches are fairly simple. 2 heads of the dumbbell need to be on the ground. And then in one fluid motion, I get the dumbbell overhead, elbows locked out, hips locked out, fully standing up. Okay? And then I come back down, I'm not switching hands, both heads touch, back up. One thing that's really important is you cannot do this. I can't touch just one head of the dumbbell, that's a no rep. So make sure you're actually getting it all the way down to the ground, touching both heads onto the floor. One thing to note about the dumbbell snatches is that you're not going to make up very much time. The difference between smooth and controlled dumbbell snatches and really, really fast ones, we're talking, you know, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds over the course of the workout, if you can go unbroken. But if you go too fast and you don't allow yourself to breathe, you don't actually focus on breathing during the movement, whenever it feels comfortable for you, if you forget about that and you try to go too fast in the snatches, it's really going to affect your burpees, and that's where you're going to be losing minutes off your time. So really important here that you pace and go controlled on the snatches, make sure you're breathing, and make sure you don't get no rep. Both heads of the dumbbell down, make sure you show that full lockout. Don't be the athlete that's doing one of these, okay? And those should be no reps. Who knows if they will get no rep depending on your judge, but make sure you do clean reps and focus on touching both heads of the dumbbell. Now, next thing, if you feel like you're getting really tired in the snatches, I do want you to try to go unbroken, but if you can't, that's fine. Break up your reps into a descending rep scheme. So for the round of 21, that could be like, what would it be? 8, 7, 6, I think. My math is right there, but you see what I mean, descending rep schemes. Or even better would to be maybe half and half, so 11 and 10. So descending reps if you need to break, but ideally we want to pace it so that we can stay unbroken if you can. And I know that's a big if for a lot of people. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is how are we doing the dumbbell snatch? So the way that I like to do a dumbbell snatch is I basically hinge at the hip, very little bend in the knees, and I just go straight up. So my legs are kind of wide and I just go straight up. I'm essentially just using my lower back and my hamstrings. However, if you get really tired, you can always switch to a more squatty dumbbell snatch. And what I mean by that is rather than basically keeping your knees locked out, you can eventually move to something like this. And what that's going to do is, yeah, I think it's a little bit more fatiguing because we're moving more, but if you find that your lower back is getting absolutely blown up and you're getting tired, you can switch to a more squatty dumbbell snatch, and that's going to use different muscle groups, and hopefully you'll be able to continue to stay unbroken or continue to do bigger sets. There's 2 more tips that I want to give for the dumbbell snatches. Tip number 1, and I actually am already feeling it just by doing a few demo reps here, is I actually would recommend like taping your thumb, because a lot of times when we grab the dumbbell, I kind of like to grab the forward head, and that thumb, if anyone's done a lot of dumbbell snatches, you probably know the top of your thumb often gets rubbed raw. So just for the sake of not feeling that burn, not bleeding everywhere, it might be worth taping your thumbs just a little bit, and that's going to prevent that dumbbell head from really, really ruining your thumb, and that's going to save us later in the open when we're obviously going to hopefully need a hook grip. And then the next and final thing that I want to say about the dumbbells, and this is segueing into the burpees, is I highly recommend that you mark your dumbbell placement. You should not be moving all over the gym. That dumbbell shouldn't really move the whole workout. I want you to place it down in almost the exact same spot every single time. So what you can do, with your gym owner's permission, is take some chalk, or maybe tape would be better if you don't want to make the gym floor all dirty, is simply mark on the ground where you want your dumbbell to be. And that's just going to give you a place every time you finish that set, boom, you're going to put the dumbbell back at the same exact spot, because that's going to help us with our positioning on the burpees. And that is what we're going to talk about next. If you're anything like me, you might have a slight shoe problem. These are all shoes that I've acquired within the last 6 months. If you have an addiction, or I call it a passion for shoes, then go to shopboxbasics.com, where you can get 20% off your next order of as many shoes as you want. Just go to shopboxbasics.com, use the code WODprep. You get 20% off between now and March 7th at midnight. And they have all the sweetest colorways, all the best training shoes, and they even have a bunch of special edition colors that I love to buy. So go check it out and make sure you use the code WODprep. When it comes to the burpees, there's a lot to talk about because the burpee is the most important aspect of this workout. Say it with me, folks. The mantra we need to remember: slow is smooth, smooth is fast. The biggest mistake a lot of people are going to make on the burpees is coming out too fast and thinking they can maintain that pace, which they won't. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of people, when they do their burpees, they're going to jump down, jump up, jump over. Okay, they're going to jump, jump, jump. All of that jumping, after all of these reps, you will eventually get really tired. It's going to make the dumbbell snatches harder, and you're going to get winded because there's no time to breathe. So I don't suggest, at least, jumping down, jumping up, and jumping over. That's just going to be exhausting. Unless you are an elite engine athlete, that is not what we recommend. And I always recommend, again, what we talked about in the pacing, come out that round of 21s. In that round of 21s, I want you to make sure that you're going a little slower than you think you want to, because that's going to save you for the second half, and that's where you're going to make up a lot of your time when other people are standing here breathing, okay? Next, let's talk about how to do the burpees. Here's what I suggest. When we go to do the burpee, the first thing I want to talk about is our feet. So I recommend jumping down to the bottom if you can, and then when I step up, I like stepping up with the outside foot. So my right foot is going to come out because it's outside of the dumbbell, and then my next foot comes up, and then boom, I'm right over. And then on this side, I'm stepping up with my left, right foot comes up, and then I jump over. I like that feel because for whatever reason, when I step up with the outside foot and I bring this foot up, I'm kind of already leaning into the burpee. I'm already leaning into the right direction. If that's too confusing for you and you can't keep track of it, it's fine to step up with the same foot every single time. Totally fine. So what Jeffrey Alder did in the announcement. Another thing to think about on the burpees is that when we're going down, a lot of athletes like to do this. They kind of worm down and worm up. You're going to make up a lot of time if you think about hitting your chest first. So when I go down, my goal is to just fall to the ground. I just fall. It's splat to the ground. So I'm thinking chest first. The quicker my chest gets to the ground, the sooner I'm getting the burpee done with. If we do that long, slow worm down, worm up, it's very exhausting. It uses a lot of our energy. So I like to just splat down, chest first, and then step up. That is what I suggest. Now, here comes the most important tip for your burpees over the dumbbell. Absolutely, bar none, the most important tip. And a lot of people are going to make this mistake. When you do your burpees, I want your hands to be in front of the dumbbell. Here's what I mean. A lot of people, they're going to put their hands next to the dumbbell. So they're going to put their hands down here next to the dumbbell, and they're going to do their burpee. However, when I do that, it's usually going to put my feet too far behind the dumbbell, or it's going to force me to have to step up really, really far. Remember, there is no requirement to stand up on these burpees. So you shouldn't be doing that. You should stay hunched over the whole time. Don't stand up all the way. And in order to do that, if I am all the way back here by the dumbbell and I step up like this, ready to jump, I'm not over the dumbbell. I have to move forward and then jump over. So instead, I want you to, it's going to feel awkward at first, but I want you to put your hands well out in front of your dumbbell so that the dumbbell is positioned in between your hips and your knees. Here's what I mean by that. My hands are out here. You can see the dumbbell is right at my knees, basically, maybe a little bit below my hip. And then when I step up, even if I step up and I'm on my toes ready to jump, my feet are already there, okay? I don't have to adjust my feet at all. I don't have to stand up all the way, which is a big no-no. It's a big waste of energy. So hands way out in front, just step up a little bit and then jump over. That's gonna get you over and back into your next burpee way more quicker, and hopefully you'll be able to maintain it. Now, I know when we're hunched over, we're not gonna be able to breathe as well, but again, if you keep a nice, slow, controlled pace and focus on breathing the whole time, I think that's gonna save you a lot of energy. So how are we gonna keep track of where to put our hands? Because when we're tired, a lot of us are gonna naturally start to put our hands here. This is what I suggest. And it's also why I marked the floor for the dumbbell. Because what I'm gonna do now is, with your gym owner's permission, I'm gonna chalk up my hands and I'm gonna mark my hand placement for the burpee so that every single time I'm done, all my job is get my hands back on my hand marks. So put my hands here. That's a good natural step up position where my feet actually clear the dumbbell. Okay, might need to do a little bit more chalk for this one. But now when I'm doing the burpees, all I have to think about is hands down, over, hands down, over, right? So all I'm doing is I'm just putting my hands where I've marked for that placement. And it's very important your dumbbell stays in the same position. So in the whole workout, all I'm doing is my snatch is here, boom, I put it right back down. All I have to do is get my hands on my hand marks. The last thing that I want to talk about is transitions. Transitions are key in this workout. They're really key in any workout. But the athlete who can transition into the next set quicker will win. And what I mean by that is, let's say I'm getting done my last burpee. So hand placement, all right, boom, I'm done. If I stand up and I'm like, stand back, maybe walk around the gym a little bit, wave to the people watching, you're wasting so much time. My goal is that when I finish that burpee, I step over, don't trip, boom, hand on the dumbbell. That's something that I want you to think about, is hand on the dumbbell or hands down. As soon as I get done that last dumbbell snatch, it's hands down. So I'm here, boom, I'm on the ground and I'm ready to go. If you can pace yourself perfectly so that as soon as you're done the rep, your hands are on the dumbbell, or as soon as you're done that last snatch, your hands are on the floor. The person who can make those transitions fast and seamless, almost as if there's not a single break the entire workout, that's the person who's going to get their best score possible. With that, that has been your 24.1 strategy video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want extra tips, more bonus content, mindset, scaled tips, all sorts of other great bonus material, go to WODprep.com/open to sign up. Also remember, this video was sponsored by Box Basics. If you want to get 20% off, that's a lot of money for a shoe. Get 20% off your next order between now and next Thursday at midnight. All you have to do is go to shopboxbasics.com, use the code WODprep, and you can get yourself a fresh pair of kicks. I would not recommend white because they're going to get really dirty. Like, mine are already getting dirty and it makes me sad. But they have tons of awesome colorways and they'll make you look fresh for the rest of the Open. And if you are someone who's like, hey, I want to get all the info, I want to get as much content as I possibly can, I want a coach to help me out, we do have a coaching group for WODprep. It is paid, but if you're interested in getting coaching all the way through the Open and getting video analysis, you can come join us inside of WODprep programming. Just go to WODprep.com/train to get access to that. If not, just sign up for the free strategy guides and I will send those directly to your email inbox. Go crush it. Remember to pace. And I will see you on the leaderboard for 24.1. Peace. Do you want to learn how to do kipping backflips? Then watch the next video. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, if you want more free training and cool videos like this one, click the box thing. It's going to take you to the next video in the series. I promise you, you're going to love it.